Hi, cat. Come and get some mango, baby.
One, two, 1, 2, 3. Self-awareness is a superpower. My name is KathyLaDonna. Welcome to Soul and Vibration. I hope the free thinkers are doing well. And if you're not doing well, I'm happy to remind you that you are the most powerful person that you know. You are the most powerful person that you know because only you can create your reality. So this pick a card reading is a quick message about the past, the present, what's unexpected, and the future. So this is a timeless pick a card reading, of course. And when it comes to say past, present, future, you can see what you're creating based on the present moment and what's being manifested into the future. We have group number 1, whale energy, group number 2, lion, group number 3, owl. Pause the video if you have to see what group you're connecting, resonating with. But let's get straight into this reading. Hello, group number 1. This is your past, present, future message, what you're manifesting, what you're attracting, the kind of energy around you. And the card that brought us into this reading is the whale energy. And when it comes to say the whale energy, my attention goes to say the eyes of the whale. The eyes of the whale brings me to this feeling of expecting something. When it comes to you guys who picked this group, I get the feeling that you guys are at a crossroads in the sense that you started something and things have shifted based on where you originally start from. And it's time for you to kind of make a decision or go into a new era of your life. And I get the feeling of some people feeling stagnant or feeling unsure or confused about where to go next or what to do next. And when I look at the whale's eyes, I'm getting the vibe of someone wanting someone to say, here, this is where you have to go. This is what you have to do. And it's easier if other people tell us where we have to go and what we have to do, because if things don't go right, then it's that person's fault, opposed to say, I'm the one who decided to go here, there, do this, that, or the next. But when it comes to the whale energy, as far as past, present, future, I'm gonna get into that. But some of the energies that I'm getting from the whale energy is being at a crossroads and not sure what way to go. I get the feeling of someone straddling the fence about something, not wanting to pick a decision because I'm afraid if I go with this, I'm gonna miss out on that. And if I go with that, I'm gonna miss out on this. I just get the feeling of being stagnant, feeling stuck. The sooner we realize that we're stagnant or stuck because we're deliberating as far as what to choose from, the sooner we realize that, the better. Because sometimes we can come up with random excuses to justify a decision and could be so convinced that this is the reason why we're making this decision, that decision, or the next one. It's not. I think of the person who might want a huge house and they keep telling themselves that I'm getting this huge house for my kids, when the kids could care less about how big the house is. A matter of fact, the smaller the house is for the kids might be better because everybody gets to be closer. Everybody gets to spend more time together, opposed to say this big house with all this space and it's just so cold and lonely and even a bit depressing because there's so much space between everybody. So I'm getting someone feeling stuck at a crossroads as far as decision. I don't know why all of a sudden perfume came into my nose. It's like maybe like somebody just sprayed perfume, or somebody does too much with the perfume. I don't know. That was just so random with the perfume thing. But I'm going to be selecting 4 cards. And the 4 cards, what's coming to mind, like someone might have a perfume collection. If you have a perfume collection, then this message is definitely for you. I'm getting perfume collection. And just someone with a lot of big goals and ambition. And a lot of the goals, ambitions, and aspirations aren't really yours, in the sense that the person who wants this monstrous house, that they don't even truly want, but at some point it was presented to you that represented some kind of success, or it represented something. And from that representation, it's like you find yourself wanting something that you don't even know that you want for sure, is what's coming up. When it comes to the recent past, the Strength card is here. So with the Strength card with the recent past, I'm getting you recently experienced something that felt like it's like something almost took you out. So when I say something almost took you out, for some people, it could be a situation where you took on a lot of responsibility at work. Maybe you've been doing doubles like nobody's business, or maybe the shift you've been working is just not realistic for you, and it caused you to get sick, or something was up with you, but you felt overwhelmed, you felt broken, you felt beaten down. And that created a domino effect when it comes to other areas of your life, and you found yourself just feeling overwhelmed. Maybe you call yourself hating the job. You hate everything about the job. You can't freaking stand it. And you feel small. You feel small and insignificant, not necessarily just to the job, but to life, because it's like you're so overwhelmed when it comes to, say, responsibilities, when it comes to what it is that you're dealing with. So when I look at the Strength card and the reversal position, it just brings me to the thought process of, like, you recently experienced something that dominated you. That's a good way to put it. Something that dominated you, something that overwhelmed you. The word coming to mind is like something ran laps with you. And the thing that dominated you or overwhelmed you, it could be some kind of a system, in the sense, like, say you tried to do some kind of a diet and you were just not prepared for this diet, and this diet got the best of you, or some workout regimen. But it could be something that's associated with some kind of a system, some kind of a cycle, some kind of a system, some kind of a cycle related thing. And this systematic or cycle related thing could be job related, because when you think of, say, jobs, I feel like it's a part of a system. You know, it's like going around a wheel. It's a part of a cycle, a system. But something that dominated you, overwhelmed you. When it comes to, say, the present moment, we have the 5 of Swords in the upright position. So with the 5 of Swords showing up in the upright position, I'm getting that it could have been an argument that you recently experienced. And the argument that you recently experienced with someone, it exhausts you, it overwhelmed you. You probably felt like you didn't stand up for yourself the way how you would like, or defend yourself the way how you would like. And now in the present moment, it's like you're reflecting on what happened, and now how you and others aren't communicating because of what has happened, or there's a shift when it comes to, say, how you guys interact with each other because of what has happened. But there's some kind of there's some shift when it comes to communication based on everything that has happened. And everything works out the way they're supposed to. Sometimes we need breaks, or other people need break, but the break is mutual, and having the break is mutual, is what's coming to mind. But when it comes to, say, the 5 of Swords energy, in the present position. With the Five of Swords energy in the present position, you could even find yourself in a narcissistic dynamic where someone is very manipulative and abusive with the way that they communicate. It's like the way that they communicate leaves you confused about what just happened, or even leaves you always blaming yourself or feeling like something's wrong with you, or feeling like, okay, I need to do better, I need to fix it, telling yourself you're gonna fix a situation, but not sure exactly how to go about fixing it because you're not even sure what your role is in the situation or how you're contributing to the situation and making it and creating problems, but you kind of just feel like you are the problem, is what I'm getting with the Five of Swords in the upright position. And when I look at the Strength card dealing with past energy, I feel like when it comes to this group, there's issues when it comes to self-esteem, confidence, and self-worth. So from disappointments in the past or being overwhelmed by something in the past that appeared to be bigger than you. And as children, everything appears to be bigger than us because we're small. And when we grow up, some of us still feel like everything is bigger than us because we've been so stuck in that mindset of everything being bigger than us, to where we carry ourselves in this world we carry ourselves very small in this life. So with the Five of Swords in the upright position, I'm getting the vibe of, say, a person carrying themselves in a way where other people feel like it's okay to take advantage, or maybe this might be you. And based on past experiences, you've learned to be very slick when it comes to the way how you communicate, when it comes to the way you deal with other people, when it comes to the way you communicate or deal with other people. Like this could be you like playing head games and gaslighting, or it could be you feeling gaslit and confused about something in the moment. When it comes to, say, unexpected is the Seven of Cups in the reversal position. In the upright position, the Seven of Cups talks about someone fantasizing about their options, fantasizing about possibilities. And to me, with this energy here, it could cause us to feel stagnant because we're obsessing over all of these different possibilities to the point of not taking action and doing anything. But when it comes to, say, the Seven of Cups in the reversal position, as far as what's unexpected, to me, this energy here can cause. So when I read the cards from left to right, I get the vibe of, say, you experiencing something in the past that has disappointed you. It's like something didn't work out. It's like the person who started a business or started something and it just didn't go the way how you thought it should go. It just didn't go your way. Maybe, say, a person tried to make a purchase and someone took advantage of you. They robbed you of your money. And when we get to, like, say, unexpected energy, it's almost like a person refusing to dream, have desires, or want things because it's like things never work out for me anyways. And yeah, things never work out for me. So because things don't work out for me, I'm not even gonna bother wanting anything extra, or I'm not even gonna say it out loud that I want certain things. I think of the person who says that they don't want to get married because they do want to get married and they know that their partner don't. So they tell everybody that they don't want to because this way it seems like it's their choice for things to be the way it is, when really it's not their choice for things to be the way it is. So that's the vibe I'm getting. It's like somebody suppressing themselves of something out of fear of disappointment. So when I jump back to, say, this card here, as far as the present moment, within the present moment, you could be the person keeping your swords to yourself. Keeping your swords to yourself, meaning you keep your thoughts to yourself, you keep your ideas to yourself. You don't want to put yourself out there and share, because I think of the embarrassment of, say, the person deciding that they're going to do something and don't do it. I think about myself when I moved to California, and I'm glad I made the move because I've changed so much, and the things that I experienced would have never happened if I didn't make the move, and I wouldn't have evolved the way I did. But at the same time, I remember while I was there and I was living in LA, and I realized I didn't like it, but I didn't allow myself to acknowledge and be honest that I didn't like it, because there was a part of me that was so afraid of like knowing that I was wrong about it. And yes, I was wrong about it as it being a permanent decision, but at the same time, it was good for 2.5 years, or it was good for the time that I was there for me to see the world the way I did. So when it comes to this group, I get that you need to redefine failure, or what you perceived as failure, because as long as life is moving forward, things are always changing. So because we have these ideas and goals, and we want things to stay forever a certain way, and it doesn't, we see that as failing. That's not failing. It's like failure is instructive. When things don't work out, they're redirecting us in a certain direction and helping us to see things about ourselves. And it's important that we listen and we allow for the guidance to come in. When it comes to say future, you have the Knight of Cups in the upright position. So the Knight of Cups in the upright position, as far as future, I see you putting yourself out there. I see you putting yourself out there as far as some kind of creative process. So we started off the reading and me talking about you guys being at a crossroads. And yes, you're at a crossroads as far as figuring out what's next, but it's going to come to you what's next. I go back to say this card right here, and it's like you are clear about the thing that you want to go after, the thing that you want to do, and you're just gonna do it. You're just gonna do it, or just become aware that this is what's important to me, and this is what I want to do. And of course, from you doing that, just from you being aware of what you want changes everything. And what I'm getting from this energy here, I'm getting, say, the person who is tired of, say, their living or work environment. Something takes your breath away. Something overwhelms you. Something exhausts you. And I came back to this because I think this will be your motivation to help you to kind of move forward on what you want to move forward on. Will help you to, say, get to the bottom of certain emotions that are unresolved, and realize that you know what path to take, you know where you need to go. It's just a matter of being brave enough to go there, but you already know what time it is. And when it comes to, say, present energy, the elk is your spirit animal. And when it comes to, say, the future, the hummingbird. So the elk is the present energy, and with the elk being the present energy, I'm getting discernment and patience is necessary. Discernment and patience. So say you hate your job, it will be so beneficial for you to find the things that you're grateful for about the job. Like if you hate the job so much, quit the job. And if you're choosing not to quit the job, is because you need the job. So if you need the job, it will be beneficial to be grateful for the job, because like if you would quit the job, you would quit the job if you didn't need the job. So because you need the job, you should be grateful that you have the job, is what's coming to mind. But with the elk energy, I'm seeing the importance of changing your perspective as far as how you see things. Because if you hate this job, this energy of feeling displeased about your current situation will manifest into the next one. So it'll be beneficial to find something about this present situation that you're grateful for, and focus on the things that you're grateful for. And the things that you can't stand, ask yourself, what is this trying to teach me? So that you can learn these lessons and move on. When it comes to, say, future energy, the hummingbird is here. And I love the hummingbird energy here because it shows how your future is going to be super busy with socializing, networking, and connecting. So I'm getting the vibe for some of you guys who selected this group, where it's like one phase of your life. So it's like, say, one phase of your life, this phase of your life, the present and the present moment and the past. It's like one where you felt stuck, restricted, overwhelmed. You're at the crossroads weighing out your options. but the future has a lot of clarity, and the future feels passionate. It feels warm. It feels like there's a lot of heart chakra energy involved, where the present moment and the past is one where you're constantly in your head. But I get you coming into your heart space more. So whether this is nurturing of relationships, connecting with people from the past, or making new connections, but more than anything, becoming a better nurturer of yourself. So that could be you getting more sleep, you eating better. But overall, I get a person taking good care of themselves, and from you taking good care of yourself, all areas of your life benefits. But sometimes we got to struggle and go through challenging things for us to realize what's important and where we need to put our focus. Group number 1, if you resonate with this message, I would love to know how. If you would like to book a tarot card reading or check out the exclusive pick a card readings on Patreon, the links for that is in the description box below. If you're still here with me, I'd love to hear about it. Please let me know by dropping me a red heart in the comment box below. I would love to hear from you. Love yourself as if your life depended on it, because it does. Take care of yourself, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Hello, group number 2. You guys selected the Lion energy. This reading is about past, present, future, what might come up having to do with the past, present, future, or just any message that is coming through, any message that needs to come through. So immediately upon looking at the Lion energy, I'm getting the feeling for this group that a lot of you have planted some seeds. And congratulations, because to me, to plant seeds and be in the position of waiting for them to come through is a powerful position to be in. I find that when I'm in the position where it's like I'm trying to figure out what kind of seeds to plant, that can be so overwhelming and stressful to try to figure out what to do next. But you guys have already done that part. You've already planted the seeds. You guys are in a position now where you're waiting to see like if you made the right decision when it comes to planting those seeds and what will come from it. And immediately what comes to mind is, yes, you made the right decision planting these seeds, because regardless of what comes from the seeds, you're gonna gain experience. You're gonna gain experience from the process of planting. You've gained experience from the process of planting, and whatever comes from the seeds is more opportunity and more experience that you'll gain. So regardless, blessings and opportunities will come from this. Also too, with the Lion energy here and the Lion looking off into the future, I get someone, I mentioned, have planted seeds already. So your seeds that you've planted already could have been investments. It could have even been education. You've spent money to learn a certain skill, a certain task, and now you're applying yourself little by little to see what can come of it. I think of, say, the person who took courses on social media to learn how to do marketing. And it's like you're done with the course and now it's time for you to see how well you market. That's what I'm getting from that. But what's coming up from the Lion energy is expectations. Expectations is the breeding ground for disappointment. And yes, we should have expectations. Yes, it's okay for us to have expectations, especially when it comes to manifesting, where we expect that the universe is going to deliver. But when it comes to expectations, having to do with this reading, I get a lot of your expectations has to do with what other people have received, what other people have done. Your expectations aren't necessarily tailored to your journey, your experience. It's outside of you, and that's where disappointment comes in. But when it comes to, say, expecting things from the universe, for me, it's me having a goal and me just expecting for it to work out. But I don't have a set way of how it will work out. Like, I'm not saying, okay, God, I need you to do this, and this, and do it that way. No, it's nothing like that. I expect for it to come to me. I don't know how it's going to come to me, but I know it will come to me. It's that kind of expectations. I don't know how, but I know it will. Where when it comes to the lion energy, I get the feeling that you guys want to micromanage the universe. It's like saying, this is the way it's supposed to come to me, and this is what it's supposed to look like. I get the person who's been blessed, and as far as other people are concerned, you're extremely blessed. But as far as you're concerned, nothing really works out for you, or you have to fight harder or work harder or do more than the average person, and it's just not fair. I get gratitude will really, really change a lot for you guys. Gratitude will put you in a better mood. But more than anything with this group, I just get parents who were I get parents who have high expectations of themselves, and from their high expectations of themselves, that turned into high expectations of you, and from the high expectations that they had of you, you have it of yourself. And it's like no matter what you do is ever good enough. So with this group, I just get the feeling of it's like the thing that you're really after is not what you think you're after, and the thing that you're really after stems from, say, not getting the kind of attention that you wanted from the parents, or maybe the parents' expectations and restrictions on you may cause you to feel like you're not enough. So you have these huge goals to determine your worth, your value, to determine that like you're not just taking up space, and that you're not just here taking up space, is what I get from your goals and aspirations, and not so much that they're experiences that you want to have. So when it comes to, say, recent past, we have the Empress energy. So with the Empress energy dealing with recent past, to me, you recently had this great idea. So with the Empress energy, it's giving birth. So remember starting out this reading, I said you guys planted a seed and you're waiting for it. So with the Empress energy, it's like the seed is planted within her womb. And the number 3 deals with giving birth to something. So yeah, you guys planted a seed in the most recent past. When it comes to the present moment, the Page of Pentacles is there. So finances might seem tough at the moment, or maybe finances aren't coming through. And trust me, I know all about this, in the sense that when it comes to, say, starting your own business, or starting your own business or side hustles and things like that, they're just like children. They're just like children, and I tap this for children because the Empress energy deals with children. The Empress gives birth. The number 3 is the childlike energy. So I say our dreams, our side hustles are just like children, for the simple fact that in the beginning, these things have nothing to offer other than the potential of them. It's like, I want to be a YouTuber. That's a dream. That's something I want to give birth to. And for a while, you can find yourself nurturing this thing and getting nothing in return for it. But because of the potential, you continue to nurture it. Or because you enjoy it. So say with me, it's nurturing and therapeutic for me to create content. I love it. Anticipating doing it sometimes is a different story, and I could feel overwhelmed because I'm anticipating the process. But once I get in it and I'm done, I feel so fulfilled. So with you guys may have invested in something. Maybe you started a business, a side hustle. Maybe you bought a home, but you started something and it's not paying like you thought it would, or it hasn't been paying at all. And that's the thing that I always say to people when they talk about starting side hustles or starting certain businesses. Like, I always say that, like, make sure it's something that you enjoy doing enough that you can stick to it even though it's not returning any profits, and it might take a while before it starts turning over profit. And if you enjoy the process of it and you enjoy this thing, it won't be so bad. But when you're doing something that you hate and it's not paying, it is easy to quit. And I've come across certain videos and articles and people, entrepreneurs saying, don't listen to people when they say do what you love, do what makes money. It's like, yeah, you could do something that makes money and it takes a long time to make money. And because you hate doing it, it affects your health. And it just affects your life on a whole because you're doing something that you hate. Where at least if you enjoy the process of it, it's so much easier. So yeah, the present moment financially, you're waiting for something to deliver, and it's stressful, it's scary. But unexpectedly, I love your reading. Unexpectedly, the sun comes out, and of course, the lion is here, so the sun's gonna come out for the lion. So unexpectedly, things are going to turn over. Things are going to turn a new leaf very fast. And the issue that you guys might stumble upon, or the issue that you might be dealing with next, is imposter syndrome. Imposter syndrome and self-worth issues. So the reason why imposter syndrome and self-worth issues might be a thing is because look at this small child, and it's interesting because look at the Empress, and then the Empress is giving birth. Here goes the baby on top of the horse. So when I look at the small child on this horse, the sun in the background, the child has this flag in the hand, sunflower seeds, all of that. And when I look at the sun energy, I think of imposter syndrome because I think of us being at the center of something and us being celebrated and rewarded, but feel small. But with this card in the upright position, no, I guess that won't be an issue. But at the same time, things can happen so fast to where for a second it could be. When it comes to, say, the near future moving forward, you're moving forward from an old system or a cycle that didn't work. An old system or cycle that didn't work. When it comes to the 8 of Cups in the upright position, Cups deals with emotions. And the first thing that came to mind is while you guys were going through this tough stage that you're probably still going through or at the other end of, like you were realizing or reflecting on who was supportive to you and who wasn't. So with the 8 of Cups in the upright position, I get the feeling of walking away. It's like seeing all you need to see, knowing all you need to know, based on some things that happen. So I get the feeling of someone realizing, wow, like we really just went through some hard times, and I thought this person was my friend. I thought this person felt the same way about me that I felt about them. And I realized that when I was down, like this person really didn't, when I was down, this person disappeared. And now that I'm up, these people are coming back, and I'm not going to allow them to come back. So I'm walking away. Like this could be one aspect of it where it's like from the cycle and you going through what it is that you've been through, you were able to see the truth when it comes to certain connections. And also too, with the 8 of Cups in the upright position, it could be you coming to the realization that you have nothing to worry about, and you get yourself worked up about what's not working and what might not work, only for things to always work out. And it's like, how long am I going to go through this emotional roller coaster to realize that I am favored and life is always working for me? And in the moment, things could be scary, but things always work out. Because remember in the beginning, I talked about you guys planted a seed and you're waiting to hear. This is the unexpected energy, the seed bloom, the baby, you gave birth to that baby. And it's something that you're celebrating, or something that you need to celebrate. When it comes to the future, I see you continue moving forward as in you're evolving this thing. You're taking things to the next level. So there's no settling when it comes to this group. I get constant evolution, transformation, constantly molding from one thing to the next, and realizing that there's no need for an ending. Every time I think about something evolving and never ending, I always go back to like the pharmaceutical industry and how back in the day that was the nicotine industry, and how they had stuff so on lock to the point that doctors were prescribing cigarettes to their patients. There were even scientific studies that obviously they funded. So if they funded it, then they're going to have some kind of control on the outcome. And studies that say cigarettes were good for you, to the point that doctors prescribed it for everything, even to pregnant women. They even had apple flavored cigarettes for children. There were all kind of commercials and advertisements about smoking and why it's good for you, and that the doctors are doing it. So if you lived in this time and doctors are smoking, then you would be silly to not smoke because doctors are smoking. It's like drinking green tea. Like, why aren't you drinking? It's that kind of vibe. And, you know, of course, over time, it was clear that they were not good for people. They were the opposite of what they were saying. But at the same time, by the time that it was obvious the effects, the nicotine industry, instead of dying, it transformed into something else, into pharmaceuticals. So it went from one thing to the next. And that's always stood out to me. I heard this doctor tell that story. And basically his point of telling the story was how, as individuals, we need to take our health into our hands, because his point was, if you were going to the doctor back then and common sense told you that the cigarettes weren't good for you, if your doctor was smoking it, then it would be hard for your doctors to hear you. So he was talking about how today, and his name is Dr. Douglas Graham, I think. Is it? No, it's not Dr. Douglas Graham. Who is Dr. What is his name? Dr. I forgot his name. But his point was that in today's day, you might know better when it comes to, say, certain foods, and that they're no good. And if your doctor is still consuming those foods, then of course your doctor won't be on the same page as you as far as coming up with, and as far as pointing you in the right direction. I think it's Dr. Michael Graham, or it's Dr. It's a doctor. I forgot his name. I'm going to put it in here in case anybody is following what I'm saying and curious. But like, yeah, the point that I'm trying to make is the importance of transforming, the importance of recognizing that everything is a marathon and not a sprint. And whenever we experience dead ends, it's not a dead end, it's the universe directing your steps. So instead of quitting or bringing something to an end, allow it to flow into something else. As far as the nicotine industry flowing into the medical industry, I use them as an example to show that it's like a ball of energy moving forward. And instead of bringing that ball of energy to a halt, they just directed it they just put it in another direction. So that's the same with you and what it is that you're doing as you're moving forward. As you realize something isn't working, instead of bringing everything to a halt, just redirect that energy. When it comes to, say, the card reflecting you in the present, we have the butterfly. So with the butterfly reflecting you in the present, you have experienced some massive transformation. When it comes to, say, future, wow, the golden egg. So when it comes to this group, I get that your life is constantly constantly giving birth and evolving. It's like the cycle of life. It's like your life goes through these seasons, but it's, instead of going around in a circle, it's like a spiral up. So it's like, yeah, your life is spiraling up as far as gaining new experiences. And with the golden egg having to do with the future, the golden egg brings me to, say, some kind of a blessing or opportunity coming out of something that you overlooked. So the business you started, or the thing that you started, I guess it was necessary for me to tell you the story about the whole pharmaceutical thing, so you could realize the importance of redirecting energy opposed to letting it come to a full stop. Because when it comes to this group, you guys are very energetic, constantly giving birth to new things. And once you've gotten started, you don't ever have to stop. Just keep redirecting your energy. And with the golden egg showing up for the future, I get the feeling that something that you've started, that you're working on, that you might see as something simple, that you might see as something regular, something minor, is evolving into something major, something that you did not see coming, something that you could not see coming, something that will take your breath away in the future. It'll take your breath away because the impact that it will make and the way how other people will talk about the difference that you've made or how you've helped, that will take your breath away because it's not something that you expected. It's like, say you create something and it was your intentions to help 3, but instead it helped 3,000, 30,000, 300,000. And you're like, but how? How is that even possible? How did I do that? I didn't plan on doing that. I didn't know I was capable of doing that. And it's like, yeah, you are capable of doing that. So when it comes to, say, this group, the biggest thing that I'll say to you is to be patient. Be patient and make sure the thing that you're waiting on is that you enjoy the process of doing it. If you enjoy the process of doing it, you're enjoying what it is that you're doing, then you're not wasting time. You're not wasting time as you wait for things to progress, for things to grow into itself. And things will progress, things will grow into itself. And you'll realize that the wait was necessary. And that while you may have felt like you were waiting, the universe was lining up opportunities for you, getting certain people and certain things ready for you. Group number 2. How do you resonate with this message? Do you resonate with this message? If you do, I would love to hear about it. If you'd like to book a tarot card reading or check out my exclusive pick a card readings on Patreon, the link is in the description box below. If you're still here with me, I'd love to hear about it. Please let me know by dropping me an orange heart in the comment box below. I would love to hear from you. Love yourself as if your life depended on it, because it does. Take care of yourself, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Hello, group number 3. You guys select the owl energy, and this message is about the past, present, future. What's coming through from the past that could be beneficial for the present, that is creating your future. Immediately at looking at the owl, my attention goes to the fact that you guys need to get better sleep. You guys need to get better sleep. When it comes to this group, I'm thinking that some of you might be trying to lose weight, and the reason why your weight loss isn't working out for you is because you're not getting enough sleep. And yes, owls are known as, say, nocturnal night animals, and I didn't even think about that when I was talking about the sleep. My attention went right to the eyes. When it comes to this group, yeah, you guys are not getting enough sleep, and because you're not getting enough sleep or you're not resting properly, it's messing with your hormones, and not even just hormones, but mental health, because I'm getting, say, anxiety and just a shaky, a jittery feeling. And for this group, if you're consuming caffeine, you're probably, or more than likely, doing yourself a disservice consuming caffeine at this time, along with not getting proper rest, or maybe just consuming caffeine overall is not something that's good for you. And it's not good for you at all. So stop with the caffeine if that's something that you're consuming. But when it comes to this group, also looking at the owl energy, I'm just getting the feeling of someone who feels like they're running out of time. It's almost like the clock is ticking. So this brings me to a thought process that I used to have before, where I used to feel like, oh, sleeper for losers, or not even for losers, but it's like, oh, I'll sleep when I die type of vibe. And it's like, yeah, you're going to die a lot sooner than you'd like if you don't get some sleep. I'm not saying that's going to happen for you, but that's what I realized for myself, that it's like, if I'm not getting any sleep, then I'm really just wasting my time and my energy, because nothing's really getting done. And this is where you could find yourself making accomplishments in life, but it feels like you're going in circles. So I think of, say, the person that, say you have multiple vehicles, and you use them to make money. Maybe you use them to make money. It's like Airbnb of vehicles type of vibe. And it's like, yes, you're climbing with the numbers of vehicles that you have, but at the same time, financially, you're in the same boat. I think of, say, the person who is into investment, and it's like, yeah, you're gaining more investment properties, but financially, you're still in the same boat. So it's like I get someone running around in circles because fear is the motivating factor of you doing all that you're doing. And because fear is motivating you, fear is also creating your reality. And in return, you're not getting enough sleep. And then from not getting enough sleep, it's like intuition is clouded, judgment is clouded. Like I get a lack of clarity and confusion when it comes to this group because no sleep. This is the no sleep group. And I feel like from no sleep, people make a lot of unnecessary mistakes. But I didn't know that in the beginning because I was the one that felt like, oh, I don't have time to sleep, until I realized that life is all about experiences, and each day I need to be living my best life, whatever that means to me in each moment, opposed to working like a slave and thinking I'll enjoy the good life later. It's like, when will later ever come? Like, you know, a person could pass away tomorrow and never enjoyed anything they worked hard for, and the people that they left it behind to completely disrespect it, waste it, throw it away, give it away, because they don't know what it's like to put that work in. When it comes to the recent past, you guys have the Magician energy in the reversal position. So with the Magician energy in the reversal position, I get the feeling for some people, probably like a bad decision. When I say bad decision, I think of, say, like how I started off talking about investing. So maybe someone made a bad investment decision. And I say a bad investment decision because with the Magician in the reversal position, I'm getting someone, instead of utilizing their own, instead of doing their own research and diving into something and understanding it on a personal level, it's like you dismissed yourself and went with someone else's knowledge because they're the professional, because they're known as the authority because of the recognition and attention that they have around certain things, only for things to not have worked out. It's like, yes, it may work out for them. That's them. You're different. Your situation is different from their situation. And even though something might work out for them, maybe you didn't know it was possible for you, and just bringing that energy alone to it affected the way how things played out. When it comes to recent energy, the Magician is in the upright position. So I get the feeling of someone feeling like nothing can go right. It's like feeling like nothing goes right is what I'm getting with the Magician energy in the reversal position. And also to the Magician energy in the reversal position, I get someone cutting corners or doing something in a shortcut manner. What comes to mind is, like, say the person who cut corners, and instead of practicing and getting their driver's license the right way, they had their twin go get their license for them. Like, I don't know why that's the example coming to mind. It's like the person that cuts corners and goes about something in a shortcut way, and then from them doing things in that way, like, they got shortcut results instead of getting the kind of results that they wanted. When it comes to your present moment, we have the Four of Wands in the upright position. And with the Four of Wands in the upright position, this tells me that in the present moment, you feel content. Like, maybe you guys were recently married or recently coupled, some kind of a connection, something came together. These energies here is reading interesting. So I'm gonna read what I'm seeing, and you know, if it don't work, if it ain't for you, it ain't for you. But I'm reading that this is a general reading, and different people are connecting to the reading for different reasons. So with the Magician energy, so say for example, the person who got with, say, the person who was married or was in a committed relationship, and you were able to take them away, and you guys are here now. Like, this is you. So it's like, it's like with the Magician in the reversal position, to me, I think of, say, misusing magic, misusing energy. And then in the present moment, it's like, okay, things appear to work out. But then the issue with things appearing to work out is that fear of trusting that person. It's like the unexpected energy, the 5 of Swords, and then the number 5 showing up again. It's like sudden and unexpected energy. So something about the way how you got your present moment makes you a little bit paranoid. It makes you a little bit paranoid because it's fear of trusting. It's fear of being safe with what is, because something about the way how something came about. And when it comes to, say, the unexpected energy, we have the 5 of Swords. So to me, the 5 of Swords energy, the 5 of Swords, and I look in both cards and it's like there's 2 swords on the person's shoulder pointing to the back. There's 2 cups behind this person. There's 3 cups falling in front of them. And there's 3 swords here. Well, 1 is in the person's hand and they're picking up the other 2. But when it comes to, say, what's unexpected and moving forward, I get the feeling of, say, like consequences of cutting corners, consequences of, say, a person's actions leading up, catching up to them. I'm not saying that you have nothing to fear or that you should be worried. But what I am saying is that our intentions determines the outcome of every given situation. So say if it's the example that I gave, where it's like the person, say they intentionally stole a person, which I believe you can't steal. You can't steal a person. Like, they obviously want it. Like, you can't steal a person. They obviously got to be for the streets. Like, they got to be for everybody. And they just happen to come with you. Like, you know, it's like a stray. You was going that way and they came that way with you. But at the time, somebody else was feeding them and thought that, hey, like they was here with them until somebody else came along, offered them something better, and they went that way. But like when it comes to so to me, it's like intentionally participating in something that you know deep inside deep inside feel like you did something wrong. Because to me, karma has everything to do with our conscience and us and what we believe about a thing. What we believe about a thing determines the outcome. So if we believe that our actions that something was off or wrong about our actions, then we're going to expect for things to not work out, and things won't work out. So it's like, say the person that happens to steal the person that's really for the community, and deep down there's some guilt there, or there's fear that someone else might take them, then it will manifest that same kind of situation. It'll manifest that same kind of outcome. And then another scenario is with the Magician energy, the recent past. It's like you try to make some things happen. And I don't know, when it comes to this group, I'm just really picking up a lot of energy of someone trying to go the quick way in something. And then the quick way end up like catching up to that person. And it's like, yes, in the moment, you're enjoying the benefits of this thing, but then unexpected and the future is that, you know, there's consequences when it comes to these things. So I'm all about being productive or proactive. Is that it? Yeah. So it's like when it comes to, say, group number 3, and when it comes to group number 3, what's coming up is be open to release what's fleeting in the sense that it's like the quicker you can allow something to fall, and as like the quicker the turnover can happen with a thing, the better. The quicker, the better. So what I mean by that is, say for example, say for example, I got another example. So say for example, example. Okay, let me get to the example. All right, so you know how with after the lockdown, the government was giving out a lot of loans and a lot of people took out these loans. So say someone took out the loan, saying that they had a business and they didn't. They took out a whole lot of money, but deep down they know that the consequences of that will be eventually catching up to them. And in the moment, the person's living well based on this decision, but just fear and expecting for things to turn will cause for things to turn. So say the moment you realize things start like falling apart or things aren't working when it comes to that, instead of playing the victim when you know that you weren't the victim, it's like, okay, how could I start paying this back as soon as possible? It's like that kind of vibe. It's like, okay, acknowledging that, I try to be slick, but it didn't work out. And oh well, let me move on. Like, okay, how do I get out of this as soon as possible? It's like that kind of energy is important to have, opposed to, say, crying over spilt milk, a person feeling sorry for themselves, when in all reality, it's like you do have a role here. What is your role? Like, take accountability, take responsibility, learn from it so that it'll never happen again is what's coming to mind. Yo, group number 3, like, if anybody resonates with this, like, it'll be so interesting to hear. It'll be so interesting to hear because, like, the way the message is coming out, like, I'm doing everything in my power to, like, say it nicely. Like, I'm doing everything in my power to, like, deliver it nice. But the way how I'm feeling it and the way how I'm connecting with it, it's like, yeah, in the moment things are going well from some kind of a shady endeavor, or it's doing something that, like, do a quick start, doing something in a way that goes against order. So it's like you did something that goes against order and things appear to be well, but your conscience is bothering you about what happened. Your conscience is bothering you about the way something went down. You feel like there's something wrong about what you did or the way it was done. And because you feel like that, that's what's going to be creating your reality, creating the outcome. And the moment, if there's a moment where you realize, okay, damn, this thing isn't what I thought it is, and things are falling apart or moving away, the sooner you're able to allow for things to go on about its business, the better. Like, you don't want to find yourself holding on to, like, find yourself fighting for something that didn't belong to you in the first place. Group number 3, like, don't be mad at me, but yo, I swear I wish I could just like really say it like I see it. Like, I'm saying it like I see it, but I'm trying to find the nice words. But anyways, when it comes to, like, the spirit animal having to do with your present moment, we have the tarantula. And with the tarantula energy, to me, talks about being strategic as far as every move that you make, making your next step your best step. And when it comes to this group, yes, home, family is important. And don't get me wrong, don't get it twisted, like, hey, like, I'm here for somebody trying to figure out a come up and do whatever, but just know that your mind, as long as your mind feels like you did something wrong, that alone will haunt you. Like, I remember for me, when I was having some disagreement with family, and I remember the Bible scripture kept playing in my mind to honor your mother, father, your days will be longer, something to that. But it wasn't a mother, father issue. It was an issue with family. And it was just misunderstandings that was happening at the time. And I needed some time to myself. And I felt so guilty to take time to myself. Like, I felt like I was doing something wrong. Like, I felt like I would make God mad at me. And I remember while I was in the kitchen doing the dishes, the India RE song started playing in my head. And the line that kept repeating over and over again said, all that matters is what you think of yourself. It's like the song, I think the song goes, Get It Together. And there's a part where she's like, all that matters is what you think of yourself. And I promise you, that line repeating in my head changed my world. And I felt like it was my spirit guides playing that song in my head to let me know that this guilt that you're feeling is a problem. Like, you need to stop with this guilt, because you're going to create more to feel this way about. And when that song played in my head, like my perspective shift, because I started changing the way how I saw things. I changed the way I saw things, and the way how I saw things changed. I changed the way how I saw things, and from changing the way how I saw things, the way I felt about it changed. And y'all, I took my power back. So I'm telling you, change the way how you feel about things. When it comes to the future energy, the hyena is here. And look at how the hyena's teeth is like gritting. Like, I look at, my attention always goes to the moon and like the cycles of the moon, how the moon is cut in half or whatever. But to me, it's like the hyenas being affected by the energies of the moon. That goes to say the cup energy and emotions. So emotions is big here. So with the hyena energy, I get the feeling that when it comes to say the future, like you being very sensitive of what's happening, like shifts, changes are happening. And the changes are happening for the greater good. Because like I said, when it comes to this group, you guys either try to you guys try to skip the line type of vibe. You try to skip the line. You try to cut a corner. You skip the line. Let's say that, skip the line. And some things are changing. It's like the energy is balancing itself out. I think of, say, the person who skips the line and they come in on millions, but energetically, they're not in a space where they feel worthy of millions. So because they don't feel worthy of it, they'll lose every cent because they weren't worthy. It's like their own head gets the best of them. So it's like they skip steps. Instead of working on self-worth and emotional issues and just working on themselves to get up to that position, they skip some steps. And from skipping steps, it's like things are a bit out of balance, and it could be a little bit scary, a little bit overwhelming, a little bit confusing. So when I look at the hyena energy, I think of like energy balancing itself back out and a person feeling like the universe is punishing them. When the universe is not punishing you, it's just rebalancing itself. So that's why I said from earlier in the reading, if you know you did something that you feel isn't honest or isn't right, instead of playing the victim when things start to balance itself, because just from you feeling like it isn't right, you're expecting some kind of correction, some kind of punishment, some kind of shift, feeling unworthy of the way things are, even though in the moment things are going well, but feeling unworthy of the way things are. So because you're feeling that, you're already manifesting a certain thing anyway. So it's like if ever things start to shift, just surrender to the changes and allow the universe to show you where it's taking you, to show you what it is that you need to learn, opposed to say fighting, feeling sorry for yourself and focusing on what you've lost, focusing on what's not working, opposed to turn around and facing the future instead of dwelling in the past. Turn around and focus on what's actually working for you, what's in your favor. Reflect on how you've always been guided, and reflect on how even whatever is happening is all a part of the process, because it helped you to learn some things about yourself and understand some things that you could have, you wasn't able to understand without the experiences that you've had. Group number 3, this is interesting, and I would love to know who resonates. I would love to know what's up, like what happened, what kind of steps did you skip, what did you do, what's up, what's going on, like I don't know, like what's happening. I'm so curious, group number 3. And of course, give me a little backstory, because the time that I post this reading and when I'm doing it is a little bit far back, so I probably forgot what was said in this message. So, bring me up to date and share with me a little bit of what's going on with you. I would love to hear it. If you'd like to book a tarot card reading or check out my exclusive pick a card readings on Patreon, the links for that is in the description box below. If you're still here with me, I'd love to hear about it. Please let me know by dropping me a yellow heart in the comment box below. I would love to hear from you. Love yourself as if your life depended on it, because it does. Take care of yourself, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.